are also one time. You get those things done immediately. Here's what is not what a part of the system that is not all the time. That is not one time, rather. It is an ongoing thing. That is the 8-point system. The 8-point system is for daily accountability and daily activity. But here's the thing. You're not going to get to the 8-point system, ladies and gentlemen, until you first go through these first steps. Because here's the thing, write this down. The way you recruit somebody, you are also training them on how to onboard people. We're talking about team building. Listen, you can make a lot of money selling solar. That's great. But you sell to survive, but you recruit to retire. You build a team to retire. And I'm guessing, here's the thing. It is a lot easier to get to $1 million income with a team than without a team. You can only make so much money off your own efforts. But with a team, it is much easier for you to get there. So the 8-point system is an ongoing. So when I sign somebody up, and even when I recruit somebody, it comes from the first step of piquing their interest. And I recruit them, and I sign them up and go through the system. I want the person that I recruited to feel like, oh, what you did, I could do, which we're going to talk about. The way that you're getting me trained, I could do. The way that you approach me, I could do. The way you got me trained, I could do. Because the training, the fast start training, you didn't do it. The fast start did it. You didn't explain the business to me. Somebody else did to me. Because we're using the tools. So what are some of the tools of duplication? Here are the tools of duplication. Sizzle video. I'll give an example. Let's say, for example, I go ahead and call Carla. And Carla, and I use one of the trainings from the Fast Start training, one of the scripts from the Fast Start training. And by the way, if somebody could put the link of the scripts link on here, please go ahead and put it on here. And we cover that in the Fast Start training. But let's say I go ahead and give Carla a call and I pique her interest, right? Which here is the system. Pique interest, show the plan, 3-way call. I pique her interest. I do some small talk with Carla. Then I say, Carla, listen, by the way, the reason why I'm calling you is I actually just launched my solar business and I'm extremely excited about it. Some of these people are making a ton of money. I wanted to find out if you were open at all to looking at what is it that I'm doing, if you're open to adding an extra stream of income. Something simple like that. Doesn't matter, right? I use one of the scripts. I want to pique her interest. Hey, let's say, for example, I go to Alejandra. Hey, Alejandra, let me ask you something. Are you open to a side business if the money is attractive enough, it didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? Are you open to something like that? Let's make sure everybody's on mute, please. Would you be open to looking at something, to add an additional income stream if the money was attractive enough and it didn't interfere with what you currently have going on? Chances are she'll say yes. And if she says no, I'm gone. It doesn't matter. Because there's a reason why we ask in the Fast Start training to do a list of 100 people minimum, because your people are your resources. If you make a list of 10 and 3 tell you no, in your mind you're thinking, man, that's 30% of my list is gone. There's also a reason, ladies and gentlemen, why we created a script that is the informed script. So there's no excuse. I don't like to sell. I've been involved in network marketing before. I don't like to recruit people because I've already done it before, and and whatever the case may be. The informed script takes all of those excuses away. That's why it's system. So my job is to pique the prospect's interest, show them the plan. Here's the deal with third party. What do you mean? What does third party mean? Third party means anything but me. Third party could be the sizzle video. Right? It could be the sizzle video. It could be the opportunity video. We have a lot of opportunity videos. If let's say, for example, I introduce my buddy Tony Denner to the business and he's a solar pro, there's an Encore Solar for Solar Pros video. That is a video that I'm going to present to him, right? If he's a realtor, there's an Encore Solar for Real Estate Professionals video. There's a Build Network overview, right? There's an Encore Solar only. For example, I work with another company that's just a solar company, and I created just a solar, Encore Solar generic presentation, right? I just want to get them on board, and I want to send them the proper third-party tool to, guess what? Expose them to the business. I want to show them the plan using a third-party tool, because here's the deal. Why do I push all the time, ladies and gentlemen, third-party tools? Here's why. Let's say you are a great presenter. You're a great presenter. Let's say you recruit a realtor, a real estate broker, insurance agent, whatever. They're great salespeople. And they sit down with everybody they know and they present, show the plan themselves. They show the plan. They do a very compelling presentation. People say, this was great. Sign me up. The problem is that some people are going to say, yo, this was good. Here's my issue, Idris. My issue, Idris, is that I'm not as good as you are, Idris. So I know you'll be successful, bro, but it's not for me because I can't do what you just did to me. You guys follow me so far? Keyword, duplication. Now, on the contrary, let's say I do sign up Idris, right? Idris, let's say, for example, Idris is a real estate broker, sharp salesperson, he signs me up. I'm like, wow, that was a very good presentation, Idris. Sign me up. Now, guess what? The way he recruited me, he's also training me. So now I go to my warm market and I say, Sam, let me sit down with you and show you something. And I throw up all the information, do it wrong because I don't use third party. I'm not as successful as Idris. Then I fail and quit. Why? Because I wasn't successful. I didn't follow the proper system. This literally happened to me back when I was in the healthy coffee business. I recruited this guy through somewhere in my organization, a couple levels deep. They recruited this guy named Walter. Walter was a real estate broker, big office, big cars, very successful. And he says, I love the concept of residual income. I'm going to get my people to come into the office and we're just going to cold call people to sell them this healthy coffee. I said, that's not going to work, bro. He says, listen, man, I got a lot of experience. I'm going to rent my people those cubicles. I'm going to rent it to them. And I'm going to give them the white pages so they can call people and offer this healthy coffee. I said, it's not going to work. I recommend you follow the system. He says, no, I'm going to do it my way. Here's what he did. He did it his way. And I told his sponsor, you will see that guy's team grow. You'll see that guy's team start to grow and grow and grow to about 20, maybe 30 people, possibly a little bit more, because it's going to grow based on his personality, based on the reach he has. He's going to recruit people. They're going to bring, for him to be the guy. He's not going to duplicate leaders. He's going to be the guy, but he can only approach so much. And then once that team gets to about 20 to 30 people, it's going to start dwindling off. It's going to start dying. No, that guy's team got to about 30 people. But here's what happens. It mistakes people because people think it's working, because people are signing up. I want you guys to think about this. Don't do what works. Do what duplicates. Because what works doesn't always duplicate, but what duplicates always works. I'm going to repeat it. Don't just do what works. Do what duplicates. What do I mean? Let me break that down. That guy, it was working. He was signing people up. He had major credibility. He would admit to me, I would just tell people, just sign up, trust me. Okay, that's cool, but can they duplicate that? He was inviting people to his $3 million home with his $150,000 Mercedes in the front yard. Do your people have a $3 million home with a big Mercedes in the front? No. You got to follow the system. Get them on a webinar, get them to watch a pre-recorded presentation, get them to watch a third-party tool that is documented. That way, you got a system, ladies and gentlemen, is where a dud can recruit a stud. 100 levels deep and 1,000 miles away. I'm going to repeat it. Somebody just came in, you got to meet yourself. The proper system will make it to where a dud can recruit a stud 100 levels deep and 1,000 miles away. Why? Because they're using the proper system. So you pique interest. We give you a lot of things. Hey, Michael, what are you doing tomorrow at 5 o'clock? That's more important than learning how to send your kids to that private school that you've been wanting to do for so long? It's just a question that we teach in the Fast Start training. Idris, what are you doing tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific? Your time is 8 p.m. Eastern. That's more important than you learning how to replace your income from home via Zoom. Right? This is just one of the scripts. I want to pique his interest. Now, if I got a list of 100 people, do you call that list or what do you do? Somebody correct me. Do I call that list or what do I do? I'll put it in the chat. When you get that list, you make your list. You make it long, you make it strong. Now that you got your list, here's what you do. Because nobody's putting in the chat, I'm going to tell you what it is. There you go. You fire off phone calls. You don't make phone calls, you fire off phone calls. What does that mean to me? I'll tell you what it means to me. I'm going to pick up the phone. First of all, I'm going to get my calendar and I'm going to block off because I am a professional, because I am serious about my business, because I'm not playing around, because I got nothing in common with these mere people out there that don't want success, that are not serious about success, that don't have goals, that don't write down goals, that don't get on training. I got nothing in common with people like that. This is my philosophy. I'm telling you what my philosophy is. My philosophy is I am going to win. And in order to win, I must think different and act different than the majority of people out there. If you want to fail, I talked about it this morning. If you want to fail, follow the masses. When you follow the masses, the M is silent. Okay? So here's what happens. I made my list. I made a long, strong list. And I time block from 12 to 2. I'm firing off phone calls. Tell me yes or tell me no, but tell me fast because I gotta go. I practice my scripts. I'm a serious student of success. Remember, ask yourself the question, who have you been listening to? Who we've been listening to will determine the results that we have today. Who we've been listening to. See, I could give you all the how-tos, and I'm giving you how-tos here. The how-tos are not nearly as important as the philosophies and knowing the proper system. The how-tos are all the scripts are in the Word document. They're in the Fast Start training. If the how-tos were how you get successful, most people will be successful. You got to become the person. You got to understand the business. We're talking about a system. Think about this. A system, I mention it all the time. You got McDonald's. You've got the cashier. To the left, you got the French fries next to the drive-thru. To the right over here, you got the McFlurry machine. Big Macs are in a box. Cheeseburgers are in blue. Fish burgers are in yellow, right? It's, or vice versa, right? Cheeseburgers are yellow. I don't go to McDonald's, by the way, but I just remember this because I've said it so many times. My point is this. They know how to have a system. You could take a 17-year-old from McDonald's in California, put him in New Jersey, put him in Mexico City, and that 17-year-old will know how to run a successful business because it is a system that makes a business predictable. Same thing when you do the phone calls with the proper scripts. You expose them using third-party tools, okay? You will start to create a duplicatable system, a predictable, duplicatable system. I've recruited, in my last company, in about 3.5 years, I recruited about 260 frontline people. 260 frontline people. Guess what? I was using third party 99% of the time. Third party. The way I created third party tools there, I created here. And there's already people here that are doing that same system. And guess what? They're getting the results. We already have some managers. We've got, that I could think off the top of my head, 3 managers and 1 guy that's supposed to be in director. This is happening. And we're still in pre-launch. That's a beautiful thing. So peak interest, show the plan, and then 3-way call. If you need a 3-way call, what if you show the plan and then the person's like, I'm ready to sign up. This sounds good. I'm excited. I want to build my business with you. You send them the link. Here's one of the things I'll give you a tip on sales. And make no mistake about it, we are in sales. Network marketing is sales, and direct sales, it's in the title, right? But even network marketing alone is sales. I don't like it when people say, oh, we're not in sales. No, you're selling an opportunity. You're selling an opportunity. So A rookie salesperson will very often talk themselves out of a sale for talking too much. If I expose somebody to the business, right, and they're ready to get started, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to sign them up and close the sale. I'm not going to get overexcited. I'll get overexcited and tell them more stuff after they join the business, after they buy their builder pack. Then I'll get it going. Now, let's say I pique the interest, I show the plan, and the guy has questions. If he's got basic questions like what's the builder and the consultant, big deal. If he's got basic questions like, hey, you know, does the company pay any money up front, or is it all after it gets installed? Oh, there's an M1. Yeah, $100 a kilowatt, $1,000 max. Simple question that I can answer, I'll answer. But if the guy is still not really 100% there, but he's got some more questions, and he's not ready to sign up, but he's right there. Here's what I do. I now schedule a 3-way call with somebody in my upline leadership. And here's what I do. In my upline leadership, I got to edify my upline leadership. Notice this. The more I edify, the easier the close, the smaller the close. The less I edify, the harder and longer the close. For example, let's say I do a 3-way call with Mr. 𝐍𝐎𝐓. I say, let's say Idris is my prospect. Idris, I understand you got questions. I get it 100%. Listen, I just got started not that long ago, so I'm not the best person to get these things answered for you. Let me do this. I'm working with a gentleman by the name of Mr. 𝐍𝐎𝐓. He's one of the top people in the company. He's in the leadership council. This guy's made multiple 7 figures in the industry. He's helping a ton of people, and he can answer all of your questions. He's super busy, so let me see if I can get a hold of him. But let me see if I can get a hold of him so he can answer a couple of your questions, okay? And listen, by the way, I refer him as Mr. Bean because this guy's a man, bro. So, you know, when you meet him, you know what I mean? Just make sure that you are 100% focused because this guy's extremely busy. So, you know, I don't want to waste his time, right? But at the same time, I want to get your questions answered. So here's what happens. When I do the 3-way call, here's the way it goes. It's you, your expert, and you've got the prospect. Okay? Here's the thing. Between you and your expert, between you and your prospect, there's trust, usually. I'm assuming that it is somebody in your warm market, right? There's trust. And between you and your expert, you got to edify the expert. That way you develop that necessary respect. I want my prospect to think that my expert walks on water and glows in the dark. I want my prospect to know that my expert that I'm putting him on the phone with, we're not going to waste his time. His time is extremely valuable. He knows. And here's the thing, I can edify like this. Listen, I'm going to put you on the phone with Mr. 𝐍𝐎𝐓. This gentleman is a part of the leadership council. He's helping a ton of people in the company. He knows exactly how to make a lot of money. I couldn't get you with a better person, but let me see if I can find a couple of minutes of his time, okay? Because as I mentioned, he's very busy. Let me see if I can get Mr. 𝐍𝐎𝐓 on the line. I didn't mention that he's made millions. I mentioned that he's helping a lot of people, that he knows the information, right? That he's very busy, that he's very sought after, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I mentioned. Because my job is to edify strong. Here's one thing that I know. You can tell right away when somebody doesn't edify properly. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the system. We're talking about the system. If you don't know the system on how to build a team, this is how you build a team. Because the way you recruit somebody, you're also training them. You're training them the way you recruit them. If you recruit them wrong, they're going to come and do everything wrong as well, right? So what happens is this. I edify. I pique the interest. Show the plan. How did I show the plan? I got them on a webinar. I got them to a live event. I got them to see a pre-recorded presentation. Any of the two. Maybe I showed the plan with the sizzle video. The sizzle video, The guy said, hey, this is interesting. I like it. I want to learn more because he only saw 3 minutes. Now I get him on a full presentation or a one-on-one presentation, but I'm using third party. I want to avoid me necessarily doing it as much as I can. Now, if I don't have a choice, I will do it. But I want to use third party. Here's what I even tell people. Show up to a Starbucks with somebody and play the doggone video for them. And then afterwards, here's a question that you ask. Pretty good stuff, huh? Yes. Awesome. What did you like best about what you saw? I don't ask, did you like it? I don't ask, what did you think? I assume it was great. I always ask 2 questions. Pretty good stuff, huh? Then they go, yes. What caught your attention the most about what you saw? That's a part of the system. The questions you, not like, oh, what did you think? What if they thought 5 good things about it, but 1 negative thing? What do you think that you could be asking them for the 1 negative? I thought it was too long. But the money was great, but I didn't say that. I thought it was too long. Instead, pretty good stuff, huh? Yes. What caught your attention most about what you saw? The $7,000 commissions, man. I didn't realize, I thought solar was like your solar payment plus your electricity payment. It didn't make sense. Now that I know that one replaces the other, that makes a lot of sense. How come more people don't know about this? I'm asking the proper questions, right? And if I need a 3-way call, I schedule a 3-way call and I edify the expert. So let's keep going. Here's some of the duplication, some of the duplication tools. The sizzle video duplication tool, right? It does the same thing every time, piques the interest. A lot of people use it, works for a lot of people. The welcome video. You don't have to explain the welcome video to everybody. The welcome video does the explanation for you. You got to make sure. I tell people, here's a 7-minute video. The 7-minute video is going to let you know when to reach out to me to do the game plan interview. Okay? So I'll call you after you watch the 7-minute video so I can get some timelines on when you're going to call me so we can do the game plan interview. But I want to make sure that through the welcome video, I'm walking them through and signing them up through the proper process, that they're connected to these trainings. And these trainings are, as a calendar reminder, the opportunity videos. They're all in your back office. The Encore Solar only, the Build Network recorded presentation. Encore Solar for roofers, for solar pros, and for real estate professionals. And we're constantly adding to that. The sizzle videos, they're all in there. Because in building a business, here's what it comes down to. It's important that we are production driven instead of politics driven. What do I mean by politics driven? Gossip. Oh, what about this? What about that? Let's address something very important. This is higher level team building leadership stuff. Are there going to be negativity? Are there going to be negative things that happen? Are there going to be delays in installations? Yes. Are there going to be people that quit? Yes. Leaders focus on production activities. They don't focus on politics, gossip. Oh, did you hear that my install got pushed back another week? Big deal. It's a construction business. Here's how you handle politics. Okay, gossip. Anything negative goes up. What does that mean? Anything negative goes to your leadership. Nothing negative goes into the Facebook group or into the WhatsApp group. Nothing. You need to know and monitor this, even if it's a different team member. Okay. Talk to the principals of the company. So, or to the leadership in the company, if anybody makes any negative posts, because no negativity, because it's silly. Here's why. I'll give you an example. I had a gentleman who had an install get pushed back about a month. He went on one of the groups and he mentioned, and by the way, this was with my last company. It got pushed back a month. So the client was frustrated. And, but little did they know that the reason why the whole thing got pushed back a month is because the client had something that was covering right outside their wall. It was covering their laundry, their washer and dryer, and it was a little unpermitted structure. They told us they had no unpermitted structures. So then the installer says, we cannot install yet because of that unpermitted structures. What are we going to do about it? So I asked the customer, how much money will it cost you to remove it and put it back down? She said to me, my husband does it, so it doesn't cost that much. The material and the work. I said, what if I give you a $700 check to remove it? And then later on you put it back up and then we can get this show on the road. They said, okay, that's fine. Between the time they agreed on all of that and the time that the installer was able to get back was about a month. Somebody mentions, without knowing the details, without knowing that it was the customer's fault, mentions the details. Then somebody else on the team says, man, with stories like that, I don't think I want to do this business. Imagine, all because somebody didn't have the details and they went and they put some gossip on the group. Negativity never goes in the groups, doesn't go downline or sideline, it goes upline, right? So a winner, a team builder, is production driven instead of politics driven. A winner is team driven instead of individual driven. The name on the front of the jersey is more important than the name on the back of the jersey. It's team driven. What can we do to move our team forward? What can we do to move the company forward? Right? And then finally, a winner in business is system driven instead of personality or people driven. System driven instead of personality. I mentioned it earlier. What did I mention earlier? What if you're a great presenter and you can knock it out of the park and you're recruiting all of your people yourself because you're such a great presenter? The problem is that the people you're recruiting may not be as good of presenters as you. They may not be as confident as you. So if you use the proper tools, here's what you want the customer to say, the prospect to say. Here's what you want the prospect to say. Oh, this is interesting. You asked me if I kept my options open. I said yes, and you shared this video. I could do that. All I got to do is share the video, and they're either going to be interested or not. That's right. I can do that. When I got started, and you sent me your link, you sent me another video. The steps were. I can't even mess it up. I could do that. That makes sense? Then when it was time to get trained on what to do first, the fast start training, which was in my back office, all new people get their back office. I could do that. I don't have to train my people. You guys train the people with the recorded trainings and the weekly trainings that you guys do live. Yes, I could do this business. That's what you need a new person to be saying. Yes, I could do this, because the way that you recruit somebody into the business is a way that you are also training them. You're either training them right or you're training them wrong. Yes, you could. Calvin says, I can't send people these videos. Exactly. Now, think about this. You may not be the person that's able to train people, but you could connect them and promote to get on these trainings. So watch this. Now I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go through these. This was the name of my team before with my last company, Team Freedom, which I didn't remove that logo because guess what? That's the name of our installer. So it applies. So we were Team Freedom with the last company. So let's go here. I'm going to start. I'm going to put this back. Okay. 7 steps to becoming a professional team builder. So we're going to dive right into the information. And this is from the Eric Worre book. Number 1, you got to get great at finding prospects. We're talking about prospects for selling, prospects for recruiting. This is a skill. Customers and consultants, networking groups, ads, warm market, leads. This is a skill you got to develop. You want to be a professional team builder. You want to have that success. You want to have those big checks, whether you work or not. You got to develop the skill of finding new prospects. I'm an old school guy in this industry. I'll prospect people that knock on my door. I'll prospect people at the gas station. I'll prospect people anywhere. Hey, man, you're the sharpest guy I've seen all day, bro. What do you do? That's one of my favorite lines. Hey, you're the sharpest lady I've seen all day. What do you do? Oh, I'm an insurance agent. Man, I knew you were some kind of professional. I pay him a genuine compliment, right? Hey, let me ask you something. I got to run, and this might be a shot in the dark, but by chance, do you keep your income options open to side projects if the money's attractive enough and it doesn't interfere with what you've got going on? I want you guys to write that down. Do you keep your income options open to side projects if the money's attractive enough and it doesn't interfere with what you've got going on? I mean, come on. When we have our launch event, I'm going to make you guys a challenge that in lunch, you guys got to go and do that with 2 people. Everybody in the convention at the launch event, that y'all going to have to go and do that with at least 2 people before you come back. Because it's just about getting outside of your comfort zone, right? So finding prospects. Number 2, inviting people to view your product or opportunity. Okay. What is the system that you have for exposing people? We talked about it today, the videos, the webinars. Tomorrow, every Tuesday and every Thursday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have via the same Zoom link. Notice too, it's the same Zoom link every time. Do you guys notice that? You know why that is? Duplication. letsbuild.com. Or if you got the direct link, it's always the exact same link. Why? Because we don't want to confuse people. So inviting people, what tools are you using? Like the videos, the sizzle call videos. And is your system duplicatable? Yes, the system is duplicatable. Number 3, present your product or service. Are you a good presenter? Is being a good presenter a requirement? Here, I'll answer that. Is being a good presenter a requirement? No, it's not. Do I recommend, however, that you become a good presenter? Yes. We will be doing trainings and even certifications on public speaking. We will have certification courses on becoming a better public speaker. Is that a requirement to be successful here? It's not a requirement. Will it get you to the rank that you want to get to faster? Absolutely. Becoming a better presenter will absolutely get you promoted faster. You will be worth more money. You will be a more valuable entrepreneur by learning how to be a presenter. Now, the next thing is this. This is next level stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, next level stuff. How many presenters do you have in your organization? Sam, let me ask you that question. If you had to answer me, Sam, how many presenters, if you had a guess, do you have in your organization, Sam? What would the answer be? If you had a guess?
About 9, maybe
about
10.
9. Doggone right, 9 or 10. The more presenters you have in your organization, the better your organization will do. How consistent are presentations happening in your organization? But see, if I become and I start stepping up and presenting, have you guys noticed, Mrs. Brenda Nava is starting to present on the Spanish side. Mr. Pete Abraham is starting to present and train. You guys notice that we have Pete Abraham and Jason in the last 2 weeks train on the 10 a.m. Monday trainings. You know why? Because we're starting to duplicate presenters. So imagine if in your team, like Mr. Sam Bean, you got 10 presenters in your team that are doing a couple of presentations per week. What's going to happen to the growth of your team? I recommend you get good at it. Now, how do you get good at it? By seeing the presentation over and over and over. I'll tell you what a part of the system is. Another part of the system. Do you guys think that we tell you to get on the Tuesday and the Thursday trainings just because? Just because we want to see your pretty faces? No. We tell you to get on for a couple of reasons. Number 1, that's a part of the system. If Dawn has a prospect and Pamela does not have a prospect, but there's a bunch of people like Pamela, no prospect. I got no prospect. Dayan has no prospect. Alejandra has no prospect. But Pam and Sam, that rhymes. So let's say Dawn and Sam have a prospect, but 7 of us don't. But we show up anyways to support because the name on the front of the jersey is more important than the name on the back of the jersey. You guys catching my drift here? So here's what happens. Dawn's prospect and Sam's prospect don't know who are prospects and who are suspects, right? I just said that because it rhymes. But who are prospects and who are consultants? They don't know that. You know what they do know? There's 9 people in this meeting. That's all they know. So it looks good. Now, what if Pamela, Dayan, Alejandra, and myself were like, nah, the name on the back of the jersey is more important than the name on the front of the jersey. Therefore, Tuesday, I got no guest. I won't be there. Now they got Dawn and Sam with their prospect. There's 4 people on the call. Is it as exciting? No. It's called social proof. For your notes, social proof. The prospects, there's 20 prospects, but there's 70 people. I'll tell you this much, 70 people sounds a lot better than 20. You know why? Because we develop team players. We are team players. We have a live event. Let's show up. I've been taught for 22 years. Guest or no guest. They said to me, if you have a guest, you need the meeting. If you don't have a guest, the meeting needs you. Write that down. If you have a guest, you need the meeting. If you don't have a guest, the meeting needs you. Who can subscribe to that philosophy? Who can think about it? I'm asking you 5 years to make life fair. Go hard 5 years. Get to national director. Go out there and retire. Let's say Dawn comes to me, Pamela comes to me, Greg comes to me and says, JC, I've been at this for 5 years, brother. I made another $150,000 last month. And you know what, bro? I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to travel for the next 6 months. I'll see you in 6 months. You're not mad at me, are you? I'm going to say, you know what, bro? You deserved it. You paid your doggone dues. You were a team player. This is a we business, not a me business. We can help. We can pull each other and push each other to the top. Skill number 4, follow up with your prospects. That is a skill that you've got to develop. Prospecting is everything, but the fortune is in the proper and immediate follow-up. Prospecting is everything. You got to prospect. You should see the numbers. The numbers for sales are terrible. Most people are not good follow-up at all. You know that you get points for prospecting and points for following up. You get 2 points for each one. You should be generating your 8 points daily just off of your prospecting and 3-way calls. I prospect Dayon today. Let's say I meet Dayon at the gas station. And I say, Dayon, hey man, you're the sharpest and happiest guy I've seen all day, bro. What do you do?
Hey man, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm actually a driving instructor.
A driving instructor. Oh, very nice, very nice. You've been doing that a long time?
So I was doing that for 5 years. I've been doing it for 5 years.
Nice, nice. That's awesome, man. Well, listen, I have a meeting to get to, and I'm sure you're busy as well. Let me give you my card, Dayon. And here's the thing. I actually work with a solar company. I'm in charge of the national expansion. This might be a shot in the dark, Dayon, but do you keep your income options open?
You know what? I think I would like to make some more money on the side. Yeah, I do. I keep.
Okay, great. Why don't we do this? That's fair enough. Perfect. So you got my number. That's my card. Let me get your phone number, Dayon, and I'll send you some information because I got to go. What's your phone number, Dayon?
587-585.
And notice, thank you, Dayon. Notice that when I ask for the number, I look down at my phone and I don't look back at him until he starts giving me numbers. Okay, that sounds good. I'll send you some information. What's the best place that I could text you some information, brother?
Yeah, the same number is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just look down until he starts giving me numbers. I don't look back until he doesn't. My point is I just prospected him. I got 2 points. What if I send him the video? Then I say, hey, Dayon, by when do you think you're going to watch this 3-minute video? Or this whatever long video it is, right? If I send him the full presentation.
I'll watch it at 10 o'clock tonight.
Okay, by 10 o'clock. Perfect. That sounds good. So let me ask you something. I'm going to be up at 10 o'clock. Would that be too late for me to follow up with you, Dayon, or would it be better for me to follow up tomorrow?
Tomorrow, anytime in the morning is good.
That sounds good. How's 9 a.m.?
9 a.m. Let me check. Yeah, 9 a.m. is good.
Perfect. So let's say now I call him at 9 in the morning. I just got another 2 points for following up. My point is following up with prospects is a skill. So follow-up is a skill and you must develop it. Let's keep going. Number 5, you got to help them become customers and consultants. What's your system for onboarding consultants and customers? The customer side, we're not going to get into it, right? You know, that's when you're a mentor, you know how to do that, right? When you're a level 2, you know how to do that. But on the consultant side, I send them my link to sign up, say, sign up. Let me know as soon as you sign up because I'm going to send you a 7-minute video that needs you to follow and watch and follow to the T. Does that sound fair enough? I'm going to edify the video. Notice I talked about edifying the person. I don't just edify the person. Let's say I'm going to send Erica a opportunity presentation. Let's say I met Erica and she's interested in the business, or I called her, she's warm market and she's interested in the business. Sounds good, Erica. Look, obviously you're open to looking at what I got going on. Here's the deal. The video I'm going to send you, Erica, is 25 minutes long. Okay. You must watch it without any interruptions. Okay. It is very important that you watch this video uninterrupted. The guy that's presenting that video did over $105 million in sales in a 3-year period. It's 25 minutes long. I know you got your kids and whatnot. Can I count on you to watch that video uninterrupted? Notice what I'm doing. I'm edifying the video as well, because I don't want to. Jim Rohn says, if you want the best chance of success, don't leave it to chance. I want to even edify the doggone video because I want her to really pay attention to it. So help them become customers and consultants. Number 6, help them get started right. This is where fast start training, doing the game plan interview with them, scheduling their launch event, connecting them to the trainings. Let me see your phone. Take out your calendar. Let me go ahead and put the trainings into your calendar as reoccurring events so you don't forget them. So you don't have to rely on the group to remind you. You want, is this making sense to anybody? Is this making, right? You got to become a professional team builder. Are some people going to quit? Yes, some people are going to quit. That is in anything, right? But here's the thing. That is called attrition. You can slow down that attrition if you are a good leader and you are plugging them to the system. Now, let's say in a year, instead of having 7 people leave, you had 4 people leave, right? You're doing better. So game plan interview, do you have a system to that they can follow for others to succeed? We talked about that here today. This is what we're talking about here today, right? Then the next one, becoming a master, key word, master at promoting events. Most people are simply announcers instead of promoters. You got to be a promoter. Remember Don King back in the day? Who remembers Don King back in the day? Right? With the crazy hair, right? Don King, as obnoxious as he was always a great promoter. And he promoted a fight, and he said that this was the best fight in the history of fights, and it's going to be over in 30 seconds, but he wouldn't tell you that, right? Back when Mike Tyson was fighting, it's going to be over in 30 seconds, but it's the best fight. You better spend your, back then, pay-per-views were probably like $45. Now they're 80, right? Inflation. But here's my point. He was a great promoter. Promoting events. Promoting what kind of events? The opportunity webinars, the trainings, the Super Saturdays. I'm going to be at a Super Saturday in Houston, Texas. Who's going to be at the Super Saturday in Houston, Texas? By show of hands. Most of you don't have your camera on, so I can't really see. Okay, I see a couple folks. Good, good. And now here's the thing. Who do you know that is in the Houston area or close by? That's where the network marketer steps up and asks, who do I know? Who do I know? Who do I know? Start calling, getting people to go to the event, or recruiting people before they go to the event. That way they go to the event to get trained, right? So events gets people to make the big decisions. Events are great for recognition. Everybody loves recognition. Babies cry for it. Soldiers die for it. Recognition is super key. That's why we have ranks in our company. You've got the refer for, pay no more, the builder 500, builder 1,000. And then on the direct sales side, you got the managers, directors. Trust me, this week we're going to be announcing a couple of managers that just hit manager. We're going to be making a big deal out of it. We're going to do some flyers. We're going to do some recognition because it's a big deal. That is the first rank in the direct sales comp plan as a manager. They're taking one more step towards financial freedom, right? So we're very excited. Managers are 10 installs in a 60-day period in your organization. So that's a very big deal. These people are making some money. Some of these managers, but FYI, some of these managers are on track to make $20,000 to $30,000 for the month, right? Between everything they've got going on. It's insane the kind of money that can be made here, right? So you need to own the most real estate at these events, meaning seats, butts in those seats. Once we announced the event, and by the way, there was a little bit of a delay in the event because we were planning on doing it on a day that happened to be our baby's birthday, his third birthday. So can't be done on that day, right? So anyways, we're very close to nailing that location down. So, you guys will get that information. But the launch event, I'm going to share with you a little bit about promoting. The launch event, ladies and gentlemen, you got the pre-launch event. Mr. Sam Bean was there, and that's when he barely got started. After that event, he's been to a lot of events, but after that event, I remember I got off stage and I'm walking, and he's walking towards me, and he says, I remember the words, Mr. Bean. Here were his words exactly. This is an easy million here, man. I had just broke down the comp plan. His words were this. This is an easy million here, man. 7 words. This is an easy million here, man. He saw those numbers based on what he's seen before. And he realized, dude, this is different than anything that I've seen before, right? So the more people you have at these events, here's a commitment that I'm going to ask for you on the Millionaire Mentorship call here today. And those of you guys that don't have your cameras on, please turn on your cameras if you can. Here's the commitment I'm asking for you, and I want you to put a yes in the chat if you commit. If you don't commit, don't write anything in the chat. If you do commit, write a yes in the chat. As soon as we announce the launch event, that you go and you purchase your ticket for that launch event and commit to being at that launch event immediately. I want you to put in the chat if I've got your commitment to do that. You got to make sure. Here's the thing. We are doing this to be a legacy company. Everybody's heard of Amway, Mary Kay, and these companies. We are in it for the long haul as well, right? There's only going to be ever one launch event of BYLD, one BYLD network launch event. There'll never be another launch event, a company launch event. This is literally a history-making event. We're going to introduce some new things, right? We're going to do some amazing training, and we're going to have an amazing time. And this is going to go down in history. It's going to be an amazing event. Trust me, you want to make sure that you are at that event and you get your team to that event. Here's a question. How many people will you show up with? How many people I'll give you this recommendation. You want to get to the point where you show up to any given event with 5 different legs of business. Now, I recognize that for some of you, it's too early for that. Some of you guys won't have 5 different legs of business. That's fine. I'm telling you what to shoot for. 5 legs of business, 5 different lines of sponsorship. Because what happens is we talk about core all the time. You becoming core, somebody following the system, somebody that's committed for the long haul, right? Following the system and developing 5 core legs. If you get 5 different legs to the event, 5 different teams in your organization, 5 different teams. Now here's what happens. The likelihood of those people going core is significantly more likely than the people that don't show up. It is very important, right? So that event is going to be one for the books. And then you want to develop the proper meeting etiquette. We could do a whole meeting etiquette on that. But bottom line is this. For events on Zoom, have your camera on, participate on the chat, raise your hand. In person, sit up front, participate, raise your hand, nod, laugh at the same jokes that you've seen all the time. You got to get great at not only promoting events, but doing those events, right? So, and you should be at every single event. If there's no event in your market, create it. Mr. Sam Bean said there's nobody in Houston. I'm the only one in Houston. He had his first Super Saturday. He's got his second Super Saturday coming up. Why? Because that man understands what it takes to win. I was talking to Kevin Marino the other day, and he says, Jonathan and I are going to get together. We're going to do some events here in Florida now that I just moved to Florida. I said, that's a great idea. Guess what? Both of these gentlemen have made multiple 7 figures in the industry. Lots of money. Even 7 figures in a month, Sam has. Okay? They know what it takes to build a business. So, anyways, I hope you guys got some value from today's training. It's, I'll close off with this. The most important trainings, a lot of times when people are new, they want the how-tos. You need to learn of why there's a system in place. because systems are what the best team builders use for duplication. If you don't have a duplicatable system, you're going to grow. This is keywords for your notes. If you don't have a duplicatable system, you will grow by addition instead of multiplication. Once you hit your stride and you are plugging people into the proper system and people are signed up the proper way and following the proper system, that's when your recruiting is going to start growing by multiplication instead of by addition, right? You can get onesies and twosies here, just you being the guy or you being the girl. Let me present this to you because I'm so good at presenting. But then it stops right there. You want to do to where it keeps going and it keeps going, and you become core and you create core. When you become core, somebody that's in it, 5 years to make life fair, I say 5-year commitment following the system. Following the system consistently and persistently. That's core. Then boom, all of a sudden you give birth to a core person. All of a sudden you're like, whoa, I was core for 6 months and I got a team, but I've identified another person, JC, that's core like me. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you what that magic number is. 5 core legs of business. They don't have to be personally sponsored. I could bring Johnny, who brought Erica, who brought Matt. And Matt is core. That's a line of core business. I didn't bring Matt. Matt Sistron came through a different leg of business. That's a core leg, though. Then I bring, Greg, who brought Angel, who brought Sam. Sam is core. Boom, got me another core leg. But you're not going to build core legs until you become core. So what are we asking for? Are we really asking for too much? We're asking for join trainings on Monday and join the opportunity presentation Tuesday and Thursday with the philosophy. The name on the front of the jersey is more important than the name on the back of the jersey. I'm going to sign people up the proper way, and I'm going to have a 5-year commitment following the system and getting better. It takes 5 years to make life fair. When you come to the trainings, things are going to click for you more and more. I guarantee you. Even this training, rewatch this same training in 4 to 6 months. I guarantee you, if you're building the business, if you're active in the business, in 4 to 6 months, this training, this exact same training, the recording, will make more sense to you in 4 to 6 months than it did today, because you're growing in your business. So just trust the process. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys got some value from this. Okay, and I know you guys can't really unmute, so. I appreciate the chat, because we had to mute everybody and not let people unmute themselves because of what happened the other day, right? So we got to keep it cool. So, but thank you, Matt. And thank you, everybody. I appreciate the love. I see your messages. Let's keep it going, guys. Remember, tomorrow, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I want you to be on there, get your guest on there, and as many people from your team that you have, get them on the training. You got to be sold yourself and sell that vision to other people. And guess what? When you do that, you're going to start getting results. Your results will build your confidence and will build your credibility with your people. Then your people will follow you more. Your people will pay attention to you more because you earned it. That's just how it works. So anyways, I appreciate everybody. Have a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Great trainings, Wesley.
Thank you, brother.